All right. I want you to meet Veena Vinod, ladies and gentlemen. She's supposed to be a feminist lawyer. She's obviously from India. At least I believe she's from India or the region. And she wants to be the next Wendy Williams. Or maybe she is the Indian version of Wendy Williams. But she is giving a woman that has cheated on her husband some advice about how to hem the guy up and fuck his finances up and try to force him to take care of baby or finance her a fair baby in her life in perpetuity. It's bad advice. It's shitty advice. I doubt that this is real. I doubt there's a real person. She may be a real person. It may just be a face model or something. I don't know what the deal is. But, Indian, I have some Indian friends. They never tell me about anything that goes on in their community and shit. And they seem to have a really iron fist on their women and shit for the most part. Strong family structure and all. Seem to have a really strong iron grip on their women and shit. I know. Trust me, I know. So, any Indian guy, there might be a simp or something out there. Keep your head on the swivel, with your own women and shit. I would posit that make sure you have your paperwork in order. I don't know how it works over there. You have a case system or arranged marriages and all that bullshit. I don't know. But I know that any self-respecting guy reading this shit, of any race, should make it a mental note to keep your head on the swivel and shit and make sure you have ironclad paperwork. That includes a pre and post nup and shit, okay? Pre and post nuptials. Some of these other cultures, they want to adopt this virulent form of feminism that's almost like a kind of like terrorizing men. Just terrorizing men. It's kind of like an offshoot of the American black woman shit, except just more retarded and shit. Maybe from my point of view because I live in the West. But I think that you guys better keep your head on the fucking swivel and shit. Most of the time I met some Indian women and shit. They came in like two flavors and shit, like asshole and they might bang my brains out and shit if I let them. You know, it's fucking crazy and shit. Not even joking about that. I've met some Indian women that they might as well have been a part of the Brown clan too and shit. Just say weird, kind of shady stuff. You just kind of overlook it and shit because of the accent. You just like, well, I didn't hear what I just heard and shit, but you did hear what you just heard and shit. Yeah, they could be assholes too and shit. Some of my shitty interactions with people of the Indian race have been mostly with men, but I've had one or two women I've run into, doing various things or being sexist. You know, I had a female denying my intelligence and shit, and then she wanted to hook up and shit. I just couldn't do it. I probably should have banged her braids out, but I just didn't do it. And now after reading this shit, I'm kind of glad I didn't do that. You know, kind of glad. Definitely on the shit. I don't know what to make of this when I read these. There's probably a fabricated article and shit. I don't know what to make of it. It looks like it's something done for sensationalism and shit. I'm going to deny it's. I'm going to say 50-50 on its validity, but it's a good teaching point for guys in general. Make sure you keep your head on the swivel. You don't know what's behind their face and shit. You don't know what's really there and what's going on with them. They could be thinking any kind of thing and shit. They just want to fuck you up and shit. They want to get money. A lot of women, they want money and shit. They want you to take care of them. They don't want to do shit for it. It's a childish mentality and shit. And you have to be that daddy and shit. Even if it's a sugar daddy mentality and shit, you got to make sure your ducks are in a row. That they can't get out of shit. Not that, they can't fuck you up. They can't hem you up. They can't get you on no charges or any of that kind of shit. It's a Me Too universe now. And we didn't nip it in the bud over here in the West. A lot of these powerful, supposed white guys didn't just bust big ass lawsuits on them, like egregious lawsuits, slander, and all that bullshit. They didn't go hard in the paint like they should have on these feminists and attack their seats of power and shit, like all these goddamn feminist rags and shit, and these reporters and shit. They didn't dog the fuck out of them and chase them to the ground and shit. Now they probably gonna start doing that, but it's too late. It's just really bad. We're going over the precipice. We're going over the Niagara Falls in a barrel with this with interpersonal relationships. You just can't. I don't know what to tell you. It's pretty fucked up. But yeah, Veena Vinod, whether she's real or not, is a good example and a good avatar for men to learn to keep their fucking head on the swivel. Keep your ducks lined up in a row and shit. Make sure you got consent. Make sure people know where you are and who you're with. Make sure you do documentation. Keep them at arm's length and shit. Make them almost big to be in your presence. If they just fade out or ghost you, take it as a good omen and shit and have a drink on me. Just don't, you can't give them no energy. And if they're in your circle and their spirit, you're going to do something with them. You decided you want to do something with this woman. Make sure you got everything on lock. That's all I'm really saying and shit. I want you guys out there to keep your head on the swivel. This ain't about hate or nothing and shit. You read this fucking post and you tell me if it don't make the hair on the back of your neck stand up and shit, if that was actually a real person giving advice and shit. I know it's kind of funny and stupid and shit, but it's scary at the same time because there are some really impressionable women that would read something fabricated like this and think it's real and shit and try to enact it and shit. Okay? A lot of times, powerful men are brought down by women and shit. It's really dirty and nasty as shit. It's very sleazy, on the woman's part. Okay, it's like just imagine, all these guys that get brought down by allegations and all this bullshit, and there's some, they're not talking about. The media is not going to talk about the clandestine meetings, the woman coming to the hotel room in the middle of the night, and then supposedly she's an innocent little flower, and the guy was chasing her around the table like Simon Bar Sinister. Last year we even had a bitch try to say Gary Coleman tried to rape her and shit. Gary Coleman's been dead for many years. She said he jumped off her bed onto her and shit, like jumped on her back, like Chucky or something. Yeah, it's that bad. I'm waiting for Emmanuel Lewis to catch a fucking Me Too charge if that's the case. It's pretty bad, man. Veena Vinod is an avatar for everything that's wrong with women today and shit. All right, there's a lot of Veena Vinods out there. You make sure you keep your eye, keep your peripheral vision clear. You look in that side mirror and shit. All right, boys. All right, you take care. I love you very much. All right, keep your head on swivel.